Okay, stop recycling. Don't throw this away. Repurpose it. That's what this video is about. Hey YouTube, Surrey with AV Prepping here. So I want to do a real quick video. I had some questions on storing grains, rice, beans long term without using all the fancy equipment or spending a lot of money breaking your bank. So you can store these long term, you can store these long term, and you can use this or something like this. Stuff you normally recycle or throw away. You've already paid for it. The container's bought and paid for, might as well use it. So let's go ahead and get into exactly what you need to start doing to get this done without any fancy equipment. Okay, so your first step you're gonna do is you're gonna take your beans or your rice and your beans, and you're gonna put them in your freezer. You're gonna put them in the freezer for 72 hours, and the purpose for this is to kill any bugs or larvae that are in your rice and beans. It could be corn, it could be whole oats, it could be whole wheat, and you're gonna freeze it for 72 hours. You're gonna take it out, you're gonna thaw it for 24 hours. Once that's thawed out, you're gonna put it back in the freezer for a couple more days. And the reason you're doing that is, you know, the bugs and the larvae are gonna freeze to death. The larvae's not, but the eggs, when they thaw back out, they're gonna start hatching because they think, okay, spring has sprung, it's time to start doing our buggy thing. And you're gonna throw them back in the freezer and you're gonna kill them because all rice and beans and other grains have X amount of bugs in them basically, and you don't want a bug infestation in your food. So we're gonna learn how to repurpose and use this thing or my pickle jar or my salsa jar. So I left the label on this just so you can see that it is a pickle jar. And a real quick note, storing grains. You do not want to store any brown rice. It is oily still. The process to get the brown off the rice, basically they take a couple sheets off of it and it takes the oil away. Oil will not store long term, it will get rancid and it will go bad. If you don't want to store your stuff for long term, this will last a year, year and a half probably without any problems. But if you want to make it last a little bit longer, by all means use this method. So let's start with the plastic bottle. So you can fill this all the way up to the top with your rice or your beans. You're going to take Teflon tape and put it around the ring here where your lid goes on, screws on. You're going to screw your lid on, take a little bit of duct tape or electrician's tape and put it around, and you can take this whole thing, put it in your freezer, and you can do everything in the container, the plastic container. And 72 hours in, 24 out, another 48, 72 hours in, and you're good to go. You can put it in your stores. You want to keep it in a cool, dark place because sunlight is not a friend of yours when it comes to storing food long term. Using the glass. So you can do the same thing with the glass jars. You can put your grains in here. You can make sure you put your Teflon tape around the rim. You can screw your lid on, put it in, put some electrician's tape or duct tape around here. Put it in your freezer, 72, 24, 72, and you can put it in your long-term storage. The problem with doing it in these glass jars versus like a mason jar, I don't know how strong these are, and the heat variance can definitely make them crack. So I would put it in the plastic bag. Same thing with using the plastic container that you can put straight in the freezer and take out and put back in. I mean, this just takes up a lot of room, vice this. And you know, you want to save some space if you're doing a lot of this stuff. So now, if you do have oxygen absorbers, we have 300 cc and 500 cc oxygen absorbers. You can put a 300 cc oxygen absorber in here. Actually, we have some 100 cc also. You can put a 300 cc oxygen absorber in here, put it at the bottom, fill it with the rice all the way up, put your Teflon tape, put your lid on, tape around it. Once the lid's secured, and you're good, because the oxygen absorber is going to take all the oxygen out of the air and the bugs are going to die. Everything's going to die. So, you know, you don't have to pre-freeze it if you're using an oxygen absorber. If you're using a mason jar, you get my mason jar here. If you're using a mason jar and you have the vacuum sealer attachment, you can put it on your vacuum sealer. You don't need to put a oxygen absorber in there. You'll be just fine, and you'll be good to go. So now I want to tell everybody, there's a video that I did on long-term storage of crackers and cookies, and I literally, last year when I did this video, I opened up a mason jar of crackers, and it was put in there in 2011, and those things were just as crispy as the day they came out of the box, and that's perfect. So you know you can store that stuff really long term with the vacuum sealer. But this video is about using your freezer and repurposing stuff you've already bought and paid for. You know, save some money. That's what it's about, because things are getting expensive. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. If you like the video, please hit the like button and share this with your friends if you think it'll be helpful. It's just a down and dirty quick video. It's something you can do. It's not rocket science. If I can do it, you can do it. AV Prepping out.